Hi guys, welcome to session 1 of the videos. Hopefully you've already read through session 1 and what we're going to do exercise wise. This video should just help you refresh some things. So the first thing we're going to look at is refreshing the new vocabulary that we looked at last week. Okay, so with your students' books, we're on page 42. We have our vocabulary in the orange lettering here and in this blue box here. Now if you remember, the orange lettering here matched to the actions in these pictures. So the first vocabulary, our orange words in number 1, is all about our movements. So we had lean, which is to lean maybe on a wall, to lean forward, to lean two objects together. We had tapped, or to tap. So to tap on the shoulder is a gentle movement, tap tap. You can tap tap on a door but not a hard knock, it's just tap tap. Burst open, this one is with doors, so the door burst open. You can burst a balloon, it's a big noise, it's a fast movement, it burst open. When somebody bounces in, it's a very happy jumping movement. So in this, Sue bounced in, she entered the room in a jumping manner. We had our rush, to rush across the street, to rush to walk or run hurriedly. So we're rushing to get to the shops before they close. We had shaking, shaking with fear, actually physically to tremble, to shake, because you're so scared. Kneeling, remember we had standing and then sitting on a chair, and kneeling is on your knees. Okay, so to stand on the floor or on a surface on your knees, you're kneeling. A slap, slap on the back, open palm is slap, makes a sound, it's a really hard, fast movement, unlike the tap, which is gentle. So charge, to charge towards somebody is to physically run fast at them. You can charge at a person or at an object, but to charge is to run fast at something. The door swung open, a smooth movement. It swings open, it swings closed. We have swing doors that are nice and steady. Total contrast to when our door bursts open. Okay, so it's much gentler. And to wander in. So you're nice and relaxed, taking it at an easy pace, you're just wandering into a room. Nice and steady. Okay, so those are our actions. And the other one we had was our sounds. So these were in the blue box here, and you knew quite a few of them already. Our whistle, you knew that one. Our whisper, to whisper very quietly. So like you're telling somebody a secret. We had our sigh, to expel breath. Usually in frustration or annoyance. And I yell, to shout at somebody, to yell, hey, hey, come over here. You yell at somebody. The other two, mumble and mutter. So mumble was the one where somebody doesn't speak clearly. So if I wasn't to speak clearly, I could just read out of my book and it's not very clear and you can't really hear what I'm saying. It's just difficult to understand somebody who mumbles. It's very quiet and it's not clear. But the mutter is often in maybe frustration. Somebody mutters under their breath. I can't believe you just did that. It's very much under the breath and it's quite out of annoyance often. So, oh, very annoyed with them, they shouldn't do that. That's our muttering. Okay, so that's a refresh of the vocabulary. So if you can also look at page 141 in your students' books, because it has all the unit vocabulary, if it helps you to read the explanation rather than to listen to my explanation. But practice those, and then in our workbooks on page 28 we're going to look at the vocabulary exercises 1 and 2. Now in number 1 you have your word search square. All the vocabulary that match these explanations are hidden in here. So you just have to find the words and fill them in next to their explanations. When you've done that, move on to number 2. And with this you are just choosing the correct words. So there are 2 in each gap, and you just need to mark out or circle which ones are the correct ones. Okay, so that's your vocabulary for today. So, moving on to grammar. We are on to page 44 in our students' books now. And we filled in before and had a look together about the grammar for our narrative tenses in this box, which is box 2 on page 44. Now our narrative tenses are past tenses that we use for telling a story. So the first grammar box that we looked at had our past simple, our past continuous and our past perfect. And you've already filled those in, so read through again the rules on those. Remember, our past simple will put things in an order, just as if you were telling me what you did over the weekend. I went to the shops with my friends, I bought some clothing, then we went to the beach and had a drink. So most of those in past simple. So it's an order of how things happened. It can also be used when an ongoing situation is interrupted. So for instance, an ongoing situation, I was running to my friend's house, so we're using continuous for that, are running and I tripped over the curb, the side of the road. So that is our past simple, I tripped over, and it interrupts that continuous. So I was running to my friend's house when I tripped over the curb. Now our past continuous maybe for a longer action. So maybe I was waiting for the train for a few hours. So waiting is our ongoing thing and it happened in the past for a length of time. The other way we can use past continuous is with the past simple interrupting it. So the same example, I was running to my friend's house, that's your past continuous bit. When I tripped over the curb, that's our past simple interrupting it. Now the other one is our past perfect. So for something that's completed, but it has something happened before it. So I went to the cinema, our past simple, I went to the cinema, but the film had already started. So it happens after the past simple or after another tense. The other way you can use it is with sequences of expression. So things like, and you've got them in here, some to look at. So by the time we arrived, the party had already finished. So by the time when we arrived, the party had already finished. As soon as we arrived, everyone had left the party. So you're using it with different sequences. So I now want you to go on to exercise 3 in your students' books. So we're still on page 44. So this one here under the picture, you are just choosing the correct verb tenses. Okay? Once you've completed that, I want you to go onto the top of the page here. So this is number 4. And we have another little grammar box here for you to fill in. So we are also looking at past perfect continuous. So where do we use past perfect continuous? There is an example sentence above the box, and it uses it in sequence. So it shows you in the bold letters how our sentence is constructed. So see if you can see from that what our rule B would be. It should be from the information in the sentence above. Once you've finished that, I want you to go on to exercise 5, just here below, and in the red box there, as usual, we have lots of words to work with. But what you need to do is to form those words into the correct tenses to fill in the answers for number 5. Okay, so that's our grammar. One other thing, if you turn to page 154, there is also more information on your verb tenses for narrative, just in case you need more information. So that is page 154 at the back of your books. Okay guys, so you should have done vocabulary and grammar so far. We are also going to do a reading exercise today. So again, in your students' books, if this time you can go to page 43, our story page. So that's page 43. The Bruce Partington plans. So what I want you to do is to read through the text, and then you're going to look at exercise 2. So exercise 2 is on page 42 next to the text in this green box. So you're gleaning information from this to answer the questions here. Please be mindful of next to each question is a tip on how to find the information. So for instance, the question for 1, according to the first paragraph, how did Holmes behave on Thursday morning? So it says in the tip box to read paragraph 1, underline the words which give you the answer. So underlining anything you need to in the first paragraph to answer that. And you have a tip for each of those. Okay, so hopefully you'll have no problems with that, and I look forward to seeing you in session 2. Okay, take care guys, bye.